Welcome to this production and operations management tutorial video on total landed cost. In this video, we're going to show you how to compute the total landed cost, and we're going to use this information to help us evaluate two different shipping methods or two different shipping options. In the textbook, we have an example of Northwest Landscape Materials, and we suppose that they only have one plant, unlike our transportation linear programming example. This one, we're going to suppose they have just one plant located in Rexburg, and they want to figure out what is the best way to ship material to the Portland market. We're going to look at two different options. The first option is to ship via truck, where we load all the material onto full truckloads and ship from Rexburg to their final destination in the Portland area. The second option is to use a multimodal solution where we ship in bulk via rail or train to a terminal, a rail terminal in the Portland area, and then have the material unloaded onto trucks and shipped via truck to the final destination. To evaluate these two options, we're going to jump over to Excel. We have here in this table, in this worksheet, the information from the textbook with the cost for each different mode of transportation. Direct shipping cost $950 to ship 150 cubic yards of material. Cost $375 to ship 150 cubic yards via rail, with an unloading charge in the book of $2.80 is the initial cost, and a local delivery when we unload the material from the rail terminal in the Portland area onto a truck and then ship from the terminal to the local market. That local delivery is going to be $125 per 150 cubic yards. To compute total cost, we simply take the demand and multiply it, and we're going to anchor the column reference and multiply that by the cost of shipping 150 cubic yards. I'm going to open up a parentheses because the demand is expressed as cubic yards, but the shipping cost is for 150 yards, so I must divide that by 150 cubic yards. And I could leave it at that because that's the only mode we're using, but I'm going to go ahead and write the entire formula that includes all of these costs, even though there are no additional costs for shipping purely by truck, but that way we can write the formula once and copy it over to the next cell. So it's the cost of shipping by truck plus the cost, and we're going to anchor that real quickly, of shipping by rail. And again, rail is for 150 cubic yards, so we're going to take that amount and divide it by 150 again, plus the cost of unloading. The unloading cost, however, is by cubic yard, so we just need to multiply that by that cost, plus the cost, and again we're going to anchor our cell, anchor our column reference, times, and we're going to open up the parentheses because this is by 150 cubic yards as well, this divided by 150. And this should give us $28,500 to ship 4,500 cubic yards of material from Rexburg to Portland using only trucks. If we've written our formula correctly, we should be able to copy it over to the next cell, and sure enough, it gives us the right answer. To use the multimodal solution, it would cost $27,600. The difference between these two, we can just do a simple equation, a subtraction equation, is $900. Now let's suppose that we wanted to see what the break-even point would be between shipping with these two methods. And let's say that we were at risk of having an increase to the unloading charge. So we can evaluate at what point, or try to find at what point would it cost the same to ship via truck versus a multimodal solution? At what point of cost for the unloading charge? To do so, we would invoke GoalSeek, which would go to the Data tab. I have a little shortcut there for invoking GoalSeek, but we can go to Data, and then what if analysis, goal seek. And we want to set this cell to 0, which would give us the break-even point, by changing the unloading cost, which we do here. And then that will tell us that if the unloading costs increase by 20 cents to $3, then the cost between these two modes of transportation would be the same.